So yesterday we worked on doing our grid, and most of you have a grid that, at least in part, looks like this, okay? So I've broken mine down into some smaller details. I'm going to show you how to do that today. And then I'm going to show you how to start outlining your picture. So our learning target for today is that you can draw the outline or the contour of the shape of your head, your eyes, your nose, etc., your hair. So once you get your grid all outlined in Sharpie, it's going to go underneath your actual piece of paper that you're drawing your picture on. And I put a little piece of tape up in the corner right here. That's on my extra section so that when I take the tape off, even if it rips this, it doesn't matter because eventually we'll cut that off, okay? So put your tape, if you have a little extra flap on your grid somewhere, that's going to get cut off anyways, put your tape right on there. Now I can see my grid through the paper. It's not super clear, but if I press on the paper, I can easily see that it's there underneath, okay? Your first step is to take your photo wherever you have drawn your most detailed grid. I drew the detailed grid around our faces. You're going to take your photo and you're going to really examine it. For mine, I'm looking at the top of my head right here, and I noticed that it is in this box, okay? And then I'm looking at, this worked out really well. This line of the bottom of this triangle in my grid actually goes right underneath the bottom of my eyes. So that's a really good place for me to look at too and figure out where that connection is, okay? When you start drawing the outline of your head, I want you to just start by looking at the big shape of the outside of your hair. That's kind of a great way to start. So for me, my hair goes through the center line, touches the top of this triangle on my grid, and comes back down. So I'm going to look and find just one starting point, and I'm going to make some connected dots. So my hair comes up above this point on my grid right here, and I'm looking for those shapes that match up on the grid. And then there's like a big triangle right here. I'm going to find that same exact triangle on the grid here. It's right there. I notice that my hair cuts through it kind of diagonally, so I'm just going to make some dots diagonally through that. It crosses the line of the grid right there, and then it comes through this triangle right here. So I'm going to make a little line right there. Using your grid as kind of a checkpoint for where to put things is going to help you make sure that your picture turns out looking like what it actually looks like in the photo. Right here, it goes across that corner. So I'm going to make a little line. And now that I've got some dots laid in, I can start to sketch in where the top of my hair goes. Now, I'm sketching lightly, and I'm using just a number 2 pencil. It's an HB pencil. It's kind of a harder lead because we're going to erase some of these lines later, so I don't want to put them in there too dark. All right, now here's the very center of my grid. That's a really good checkpoint. My hair comes right over that center line, kind of like this, and back up, okay? Don't worry about detail on this part. Remember at the beginning of the school year when we did contour lines, were they really detailed or were they mostly just an outline? They're mostly just an outline, and they're really light. And so this is just contour lines that we're doing right now. All right, now I've got a starting point. I can start adding in the line for my forehead. So I'm going to look and see, where does that cross? And start putting that in, okay? If you really pay attention to your grid and you use that as your reference point for where to put everything on here, I think you're going to be surprised at how extremely realistic and extremely like you can make these pictures look. So our goal for today is to finish your grid. I want you to look and see where's the most detail on your picture.
We're missing many students in the testing rooms. Please check your testing roster that was sent out by Ms. Parnell yesterday, and make sure that we have everyone in their testing rooms in the next 5 minutes. Thank you.
That's going to be in the video. Find the most detailed spot on your picture. For me, it's where the eyes, mouth, nose, ears, everything is, okay? And then break that part of the grid down. I'll show you how to do that on the whiteboard. Outline your grid in Sharpie. Put it under a good piece of white paper and start drawing the outline based on the grid here and the grid there, okay? So once y'all get the supplies that you need from up front, I'm going to do a quick demo on the board for how to draw detailed grid. It's just like normal grid, you're just breaking it down smaller, okay? All right, so grab all your stuff and I'll do that demo in 5 minutes.